Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Sunday Night is Organ Music Tonight. Tonight we're going to have some fun. And no, it's not going to be like that all night. We're going to play some tunes properly, and that one will be coming back later in its normal form as well. I just wanted to play around with the sounds and have some fun. Hello. Tonight we're going to play some music by ABBA. Everybody, I don't think, is there anybody in the world who doesn't like ABBA? I'm trying to think of anyone who doesn't like ABBA. And that's quite something, because Mrs. Gartshore, who's downstairs just now looking after our bundle of joy, is not the greatest lover of my kind of music. It's all the good old stuff that I love listening to. But when it comes to ABBA, even she has to join in and enjoy it. She likes all that sort of modern crap that nobody else seems to, well, that everybody else seems to like, but you know what I mean, that sort of modern, tuneless rubbish. But there is, of course, something rather wonderful about a good old-fashioned ABBA tune. It gets you all going, and that's the exciting thing about it. Right, good evening. We're going to have some fun, but we're going to have some normal music as well. It's not just going to be an ABBA night. We're using the wonderful organ of Alessandria again. I wasn't sure which organ to use for tonight's concert, but it's got that lovely sort of tinkly stuff. And of course, it's also got a bloody great tuba. With the 32-foot reed, which doesn't exist in the real organ. The guy who sampled this added the 32-foot reed to make it more exciting. If you're going to have an organ with a tuba, then you kind of need a big 32-foot reed farting in the background as well, so all the good fun of that. So here we are. So this is it. We're going to have an interesting evening tonight. Welcome to Sunday Night is Organ Music. Now I see some of you have been busy already. What's this? Someone's been donating memberships to the channel. Michael Becker has been gifting memberships to the channel. Thank you very much, Michael Becker. That's very kind of you indeed. Let me just keep an eye on that chat. Make sure it's working. Oh, and let me make sure I need to keep an eye on this kind of stuff as well. Normally, you see, Mrs. G does all this kind of stuff, but since the arrival of the little one, it's all up to me. So I have to do all of this these days. But let me make sure I get this in the right place. And we've got it. So how are you doing tonight, everybody? Are you having, or have you had, a good weekend? I do hope so. And yeah. Thumbs up in the chat if you've had a good weekend. There's a good start, if you've had a good weekend. TB, if you are 45 and over, then proper music, yes. I'm not sure what you're talking about there, but yes. Anything that started in the 70s has to be good. Stuff that started in the 60s, probably pretty good as well. But not all of it. There's a lot of it that's quite sort of rubbishy. This organ has these things. Oh, hold on. It has bells, and I'm determined to get the bells in tonight's concert somehow. I'm not sure yet, but we're definitely going to try it. Right, now I want to start this next piece of music. We have to play this one, so I want to get it over and done with relatively early. A lot of people got in touch and said, oh, if you're going to do ABBA, then please do this, please do this, please do this, please do this. And pretty much everybody came up with exactly the same request. And funnily enough, it was this one. Gotta get it over and done with at the beginning. It's a wonderful tune, isn't it? Mamma mia. Wonderful tune, terrible film. Absolutely terrible film. Did anybody enjoy the film version of Mamma Mia? I hope you didn't. It doesn't say doesn't say much about what's going on inside your heads. Now, not all of the ABBA stuff is rhythmic and exciting and joyful. Well, it's all joyful. Is there any sad ABBA music? I don't think so. But here's one. There's a lovely sort of ballad, and I think we can definitely sort of use the softer sounds again of this rather lovely instrument. There's this lovely stop on this organ. It's kind of sort of clarinetty. The cromorno, a crumhorn, a crumhorn, or a raspy clarinet, as you might like to call it. And it's a nice solo stop. But there are other solo stops in this organ, so I think we'll sort of faff around and see what we can come up with. Here's a rather lovely tune written by Benny and Björn a long time ago. When was this one? 1979. At least that's what the book says. And it's for all you people out there who don't want to grow up. Simple as that. I Have a Dream. It's a cute piece of music, isn't it? I rather like it. It's one of those nice, relaxing little ones. Now, let's have a brief change of subject. And during that change of subject, I'm going to go and look over here and see what's going on in the background. Not a lot is the answer. So you know what to do, ladies and gentlemen. I will be back to have a look at that. Was that the ABBA or the Boyzone version? I'm going to pretend I don't even know who Boyzone is, for the simple reason I really don't want to do it. No, good God, no. Boyzone, bloody hell, no. Years ago when I was still studying in Edinburgh, one of my jobs, and it was a great job, I loved doing it because it was good fun. I got to drive around in fancy cars all day and I got to meet very interesting people. I was a chauffeur, which was a wonderful job to have. And one day I got a call from the boss and he said, we had a people carrier. What was it? I think it was a Toyota Previa of all horrible things. So it wasn't the fanciest car we had, but he said, take the people carrier and go down to the docks in Edinburgh to this address, dock something or other in Leith. So I donned my uniform, jumped in the Previa and drove all the way down to Leith docks in Edinburgh. And I was hanging around at the gates waiting to be let in, and the guy was saying, oh, I can't let you in yet, we've got to wait till he lands. And I thought, what do you mean he lands? Oh, it's a helicopter. Oh, right. Some guest was coming in by helicopter, and I had no idea what this was, and the boss had deliberately not told me who it was. So I was sitting around. While I was sitting around, I had the radio in the car on. I was sitting in the car listening to the radio, and it was local radio. It was, what was it called in those days? I honestly can't remember what it was called. Local radio in Edinburgh anyway. And they were playing music, and all morning they were playing Take That and Robbie Williams music and saying, yes, and live soon in the studio, Robbie Williams. And I was going, oh, that's exciting, Robbie Williams. That would be cool, wouldn't it? Wow. And as I was sort of listening to this, thinking, hey, cool, I must listen to that, because Robbie Williams had just gone solo. He'd just come out of one of his drug clinic stays kind of thing. And he'd just released some album. And I was thinking, oh, that's kind of cool, because there were some good tunes on that album. I'll listen to that interview. Helicopter lands, door opens, out steps Robbie Williams. And I thought, oh, you are joking. Oh my God. He wandered over to the car, and the first thing he said was, lose the hat. So fine with me, uniform off, back in civvies in the car. And we drove up through Edinburgh to the local radio station. That was the plan. And on the way up, we were just chatting away. He smoked several cigarettes in the car on the way up. A story about that coming up in a minute as well. And he was in a bit of a bad mood. He'd obviously been fighting with his manager on the way up. And he was sort of sitting there looking a bit sort of grumpy. And I said, do you want to go direct to the radio, or do you want to sort of take a roundabout route? Are you all right? And he looked at me and he said, hey? I said, you all right? You don't look like the happiest person in the world. Was it not a very good flight? And he just laughed and said, oh, all right, I'll tell you what then. Yeah, let's drive around a little bit. Yeah, and no, actually, let's do another thing. Can we drive to the station, drop him off, and then we can go for a drive around? I need to clear my head. I said, that's no problem with me. You're the boss. And the guy in the back, the manager, they didn't have iPhones in those days, but it was things like, remember those, what do you call them? Those personal organizer things. Remember them? Palm Pilot, that was it. Remember them? He was tapping away on this stupid thing. And he sort of said, no, we can't do that. We have to stay together at all times. We can't do that. Security is an issue, blah, blah, blah. And Robbie looked at me and said, is security going to be an issue? And I said, well, I had members of the royal family in the car last week. I've had presidents. I've had other people. I think we can deal with security. Don't worry about it. All right, fine. So we threw the manager out at the radio station and drove off again. And there were all these fans hanging around, and they saw him in the car, scream, scream, scream. We disappeared off, and we just went for a drive around Edinburgh and had a chat. And he was the loveliest, nicest person you could imagine. And this was his first interview given after he came out of one of these clinics, you know, a drip dry clinic kind of thing. And you know, he was going, all they're going to talk about is drugs and drink, and I don't want to talk about it. And I said, well, you know, it's kind of what people are expecting. I said, change the subject. You know, if he starts talking about drugs and drink, then change the subject. Talk about his, I don't know, talk about his shirt or his, you know, talk about something, anything else, whoever's interviewing you. Change the subject. Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I like that. So then we started having a laugh about all sorts of other things. And he asked me what I did. And I said, well, actually, believe it or not, I'm a musician. This is why I'm a chauffeur. Musicians don't make any money. Something that never changed in my entire life. And he laughed and he said, oh, you want to join a boy band? You make money with that. I said, yeah, but come on, I'm not into that kind of thing. It's not my kind of music. He said, oh, don't you like my music? I said, well, to be honest, I like your music, but all that take that stuff, that was definitely not my kind of music. I'm more into old stuff. And then I mentioned some of the people I'd been working with over the past few years, because while I was in my Edinburgh days, I worked with some rather interesting musicians. And he looked at me and he said, you're taking the piss. I said, no, I'm not. And he said, well, hold on, if you're working with people like that, why are you working as a chauffeur? And I said, well, you know, I'm stuck in Edinburgh. I'm still studying. I want to finish my studies. I can't do that full time. That would mean moving to London to go and work with those guys all the time. And that's just too bloody expensive. Can't afford to do it. And he said, oh my God, I don't believe it. And then we talked about all the people I was working with. And he was going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm not going to tell you about that, but never mind. He couldn't believe all that. So then he went for his interview. We went back to the station, it was time. So he just ran in, didn't speak to any of his fans, ran in. And the interview started almost immediately. And one of the first questions was, how does it feel to be out again? And he changed the subject and he said, how does it feel to have a stupid haircut? I thought, yes, you're on form already. That's good. And the interview sort of went on a bit like that. He was getting annoyed at the guy with his silly questions. And while all of this was happening, I was sitting outside in the car waiting for him, and the crowds had amassed, all these people, all these fans, and there were lots of, well, shall we say, young female fans who wanted bits of Robbie, basically. And they were sort of like zombies on the car window, and they looked inside and they saw in the ashtray, they saw cigarette ends in the ashtray in the car, banging on the window. So I opened the window a crack, and one of the girls said, did he smoke those? And I said, yeah. They said, can I have them? I said, no. I'll give you money. I said, I don't care. You're not getting them. They belong to my client. You can't get them. Yeah, well, he doesn't want them. I said, yeah, but he probably doesn't want you to have them either. And this went on for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And then I got a phone call, because in the car we still had those phones attached to long cords on phones. I got a phone, and this was the manager. This was the manager saying, the interview's about to finish, but there are too many people out front. Apparently there's an alleyway behind the studio. Can you meet us there? And I said, well, look, if I drive off, they're going to know that I'm coming to pick you up. So I'm going to have to tell them something. I'm going to say, look, the interview's going on longer. I'm going to go and get myself some lunch. The interview's on for another half hour. Robbie will be out in an hour's time or something like that. That's a good story. Let's do that. So I told all these fans, you know, there's been a problem. There's been a fight in the studio and whatever else. So, you know, I'm going to go and get some lunch. It's going to be at least another hour. You wait here, he'll come out. So I drove off a completely different direction, came all the way back, reversed up this one-way alley street to get back to the studio. And the manager said, right, you can leave the car there and come in. And I spent the next, literally another hour in the studio, sitting in a room, again, alone with Robbie, who had had a fight with the guy about the interview technique. And we sat in this room, just the two of us, chatting about normal, day-to-day, wonderful things. And I asked him, one of the questions I asked him was, well, what about your music? You know, when you were growing up, what was the music you listened to? And the first word he said was, ABBA. I asked him, what was your favorite ABBA tune? And he said this. That was a bloody long anecdote to get to a piece of music, wasn't it? Anyway, here we go. This was his favorite tune by ABBA, believe it or not. Let me just get some decent registrations going. I think we'll start with this one. Money, money, money. Isn't that a wonderful tune? It's so cleverly written. Time to analyze some music. But before I do that, let's go and check out who's been buying tickets this evening. A couple of people have already been in there, which is very kind. Thank you very much. Alexander Wunderlich was first in this evening with a ticket. Thank you, Alexander. Who's this? Who's this? Stefan. Thank you, Stefan, was second in tonight. And the third individual so far this evening was Gabor. Thank you very much, Gabor. 3 tickets for ABBA. Tut, tut, ladies and gentlemen. Surely ABBA's worth more than 3 tickets. What's been going on over here? Oh, I think we have some Buy Me a Coffees. We do have some Buy Me a Coffees. What's been going on over here? We have a ticket from Cassie. Thank you very much, Cassie. I always want to read out your real name when I see that. Sorry about that. So there's Cassie. And Marketa. Marketa, who is on holiday at the moment. Marketa has bought a cup of coffee too. Thank you very much. And what's this? Oh, the Platz Gang. Oh, the Platz Gang have been busy on Buy Me a Coffee, buying things. Thank you very much, Platz Gang. Wow, cool. Thank you very much indeed. What's this? I don't know. A request. I think I might have that. I might have it. Let's just pop it over there anyway. Mike King has bought a thank you to say thank you. Thank you, Mike King. I shall say thank you with that. There we are. Right, back over here. Oh, a ticket has arrived, even though I said that. Ha! Greetings from San Francisco. I didn't know you were from San Francisco. That's from our friend Donald. And now we know you're from San Francisco. Wonderful. How many San Francisco members do we have in the gang? I don't know. Let's find out. Wonderful. Great. Thank you, Donald. Thank you, thank you. Splendid, splendid. Actually, I'm going to say hello to you all in the chat in a moment, but first of all, let's have a different piece of music. Oh, what's this? Another one has come in, and this is Andrew. Andrew P. Thank you, Andrew P. Very kind. Ha, wonderful. We're moving forwards. Moving forwards is the right way to move. Let's have a different one, but we'll have it in a moment. Oh, we have to have that. We absolutely have to have that. Let's have a piece of churchy music first, though. This is a beautiful organ, and you can play around on it rather beautifully. And I'm trying to think of the hymn we had last night at church, which was rather nice, and it's one we don't often have. Yesterday was so long ago. There's been so much happening since yesterday. I honestly can't remember what it was. Was it this? Yes, it was. It was this one. Number 377. So basically, Jesus, you are my life, that kind of thing. All right. It's a lovely hymn. It's got nothing to do with ABBA, but it's got something to do with this organ, this wonderful instrument. Not my personal organ, this one here. Alessandria, this wonderful thing. It's got this lovely, soft, luscious, stringy sound. Yeah, which I think is absolutely gorgeous. And then it builds up to the most enormous, bombastic, full organ sound with, of course, our tuba. So let me demonstrate that to you in an improvisation on the theme of number 377 in the German hymn book. You could spend hours doing things like this on this organ. It's such a wonderful instrument to play around with it. And I don't know, there's so many luscious sounds. It sounds like a big, sort of dark and broody string orchestra, doesn't it? I love this, the dark but yet shining edge, a dark and shining edge. Gosh, I'm being poetic today. But yeah, it's a lovely instrument, isn't it? It's lovely, lovely, lovely. We like it. We like it a lot. We like it a lot. Right, let's have a look who's in the old chit chat, and then we'll get back to some fun and games with ABBA. Jez has just sent in a ticket, and yes, don't worry, Jez, it's it's definitely on the cards for tonight. Right, let's go pretty much back to the beginning, or as far back as I can go in the chat. I can't go all the way back to the beginning of the chat for some bizarre reason. Alexander is here tonight. Hello, Alexander, and thank you again for your generous ticket. Nancy is here. Hi, Nancy. Lucian is here. Hi, Lucian. The Blue-Eyed Cat is here. Xing Chang Chong is here. Thank you for joining me last night in Hirschbach. I had a wonderful visit last night in church. Our friend Xing Chang Chong came, our friend Dominic came, and our friend Heiko came as well. We had all sorts of people at church last night. So thank you to all of you for joining. It was wonderful fun. Loved it. Karim Altuna is here from Istanbul. Hello to you. Lovely. Urza is here. Hi, Urza, and I hope everything is okay with Nüsschen as well. Max is here. Gerald is here. Ivy is here. Mike is here. Julian GC is here. Robert V is here. There's Monica as well. TB is here. TB, I wonder who TB really is. Michael Becker is there. Who else is here? Let's keep going. Brooks, hello Brooks. Haha, Samantha is also here. There's Cam Platts. Hi Cam. Nikira is here. Hello Nikira. Money, money, money. Quickly digging through the list. Michael Miller is here. Hello. There's Cassie, thank you again for your ticket. Gerald is here. So the Illinois crowd is in. Right, who else is here? Andrew Prince is here. Hi, Andrew. Just listening tonight and buying tickets as well, it would seem. Thank you very much. Razbaz is here. Hello, Marco. How are you doing? Splendid, splendid. There's Dominic Eckhart. I knew you'd be here. Splendid. Lovely that you are here. Right, keep going, keep going. Who else? There must be more people there. There's Maureen. Hello from Maureen Whiteley. Hello. Lovely. Okay. Adrian is here. Hello, Adrian. Lovely. Haha. František is here too. Splendid, splendid, splendid. I got some lovely messages from František over the weekend. Wonderful guy. Love him to bits. Yeah, Jörg is here. Hi, Jörg. Jörg Dietz. Der Norden ist online. The north of Germany is online. Jörg, where's the north for you? The north could be anywhere. The north could be like Emden, but it could also be Flensburg. I don't know. Where's the north? Let's find out where the north is. Ooh, right. What else is happening? Who else is here? I'm not reading any of this. I'm just checking out who's here. I should be reading along, shouldn't I? Alexander Pruzon. How are we pronouncing that? Alexander P. There we are. Let's just go with Alexander P. Thank you for your comment and welcome to the chat. I don't think I've recognized that name before. Wonderful. If you're new in the chat, then say hi. We love new people in the chat. Everyone is welcome. There's Gerhard. Gerhard Flink is here. Yes. Splendid, splendid. Who else have we got here? I need some new names. There must be some new people. Right, where are we? There's Nikira. Hi, Gregory is here. Hello, Gregory. Yellowbird is also here. Will there be a strange request from Yellowbird tonight? I doubt it, but you never know. Who else is here? Ian Walker is here. Hi, Ian. How are you doing? Anonym is here. The anonymous person is here. Tonight, my sister Christina is also listening, says František's sister Christina. That's a huge mouthful if you have teeth. Yeah, so hello, Christina. Welcome to the channel as well. Marcus B is here. Joshua McCready is here. Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here. Missouri is here, says Samantha. Wonderful. There we are. We're very international. Piotr Gutzen is also here. Can old people still be new? Yes, of course. Old people, young people. When you say old, do you mean age old or membership old? No, 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 don't worry about it. What's this? A ticket from Nancy. Thank you very much indeed. Right, here we go. Keep them coming, folks. Here's another one, even as I speak. You must have been talking to each other, because this is Gerald. So thank you, Gerald. That's very lovely. Thank you. There we are. The Illinois tickets are in. The Illinois tickets are in. No. Oh, no, says Yellowbird. Gimme, 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 says Anonymous. Well, we don't know. We'll find out. We will find out. Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the... I suppose it's the second half already, isn't it? All this chit-chat, anecdotes and nonsense. Do you like my anecdotes, by the way? I know some of you are here for, you know, the music, and some of you are here for the chat, and some of you are here for just the general entertainment, I suppose. But yeah, do you like my anecdotes? Let me know if you like the anecdotes. Yeah, anecdotes are good. Cam, you shouldn't be doing that. I see what Cam is doing in the chat there. You shouldn't be doing that. Dr. Fraser says no. All right then. Many years ago, I conducted an orchestra. And in that orchestra, we had all sorts of fun music as well as the serious stuff. And one of the fun things we had was a great sort of medley of ABBA tunes. And we used to play it at various functions and things like this. It was absolutely wonderful. And one of the tunes, one of my favorite tunes, and I just love it because it's one of the simple ones. ABBA's famous for a couple of things, textures and harmonies. But this is one that is actually very, very simple indeed. I think you might recognize it. If you're singing along, I suggest you stand up and dance along as well. I think we'll start that again. My head, this is the funny thing, this is weird. Explain that. Do we have any actual psychologists in the chat? If we have real psychologists, I don't mean hobby psychologists, I mean real professional psychologists. Explain this one to me. This is weird. This is the way my brain works. I've had my brain studied by a psychologist already, someone who wanted to understand how musicians' brains worked. And she studied my brain and she went, I have nothing to say. She couldn't work out how my brain worked, so nobody knows apparently. This is weird. Now, the piece of music I'm playing, Fernando, obviously, is written in A major, which, oops, let's try that again, which is not my favorite key in the world, but nonetheless, it's easy enough. And this thing keeps chopping and changing pages. I need to change the sensitivity of that. However, my orchestral arrangement that I had back in the day was in G major. Now this is really weird. My brain was reading A major. My fingers were trying to play A major at the same time, but my brain was saying, too high, too high, too high, too high, play lower, play lower, play lower. And while I was going, my brain was thinking, no, 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 that should be this. It should be in G major, it should be lower. So I'm now tempted to transpose the whole thing because that's what my brain wants to hear. You understand? My brain wants to hear G major, but I'm reading and playing A major. My brain's going, no, 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 too high, too high, too high. What's easier? It's late. I'm tired after an incredibly long, stressful week. So I think we'll read A major, play A major, and I'll just shut my brain off. Oh, I should have done that into the camera, should I? Cha, cha, cha. Boom. There you go. Cha, cha, cha. Isn't that cute? And like I say, it's one of the simpler ones, harmonically speaking. Harmonically speaking. Jan! Sunday night is ABBA music night. Ticket. Thank you. Jan, very kind. Thank you. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tickets. If we get to 110 tickets, I will play... No, that's silly. That's naughty, isn't it? Yes. Now then. Everyone's been requesting several of the tunes. I wonder, do we do this one? I don't know. Do we do this one now? This could be interesting on the organ. Would this work? It could work. Some people requested this. Some people requested everything. I mean, that's the wonderful thing about ABBA. Everybody just requests everything. Wolfgang is leaving us. No, don't leave. I'm not sure I like all of these registrations anymore, but it'll do. It's a wonderful organ nonetheless. How are we going to do this? Is that what we're going? We have to, don't we? It's not midnight though, is it? We should wait till after midnight for this, surely, shouldn't we? Gimme, 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 a man after midnight. Surely we should wait until after midnight for this. Well, somewhere in the world it's midnight. Where is it midnight? It's midnight in the Czech Republic, so František, it's midnight already. How do you finish that? All of these tunes fade out. That's all they do. They fade, 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 fade. That works on the organ. I can't believe it. That works. It works rather nicely too, doesn't it? I really never realized it was this simple. That's cool, isn't it? It's difficult to get that at the end. I suppose you have to change your hand position. Yeah. Da-dum. Oops, nope, nope. Simple as that. Sight reading fun. Right. Working on. Oh, Philip. Thank you very much, Philip. Ha, very kind. Very kind. Oh, people are leaving. People are leaving us. People are leaving us. Goodbye to those who are leaving us, and hello to those who are joining us. Gary Black is here. Hello, Gary. I love ABBA. We all love ABBA. We all love ABBA. Everybody loves ABBA. I haven't found anyone yet who doesn't like ABBA. If you don't like ABBA, tell me why. František, no, it's the same time as in Germany. Is it really? I was in the Czech Republic years ago, and I'm sure we changed our watches on the way. Dominic, yes, I did, and it's coming. Thank you, Dominic. Yes. Let's have a look. Any new names since I last looked? I don't think so. Splendid, splendid, splendid. Yes. All right, let's have a look at that actually right now. Here. Oh my God, that's tiny. No human can read that. Ah. Oh God, we're going to have to try it like this. What is this? Ah, that's tiny. Oh my God. I honestly don't know what this is, but it looks bloody interesting. Dominic Eckhart, like I say, he visited me yesterday in church. And when I said we were going to do an ABBA concert, he sort of went, and stroked his beardy chin. And while he stroked his beardy chin, I thought, uh-oh, he's got something. Now, Dominic's one of those guys, he's always got something up his sleeve. He sends me things that, here, just play this mere trifle of a piece, and it's the most complicated thing you've ever seen in your life. Well, tonight is no different. He sent a piece of music by Benny and Björn again. I thought, hold on, there was a story behind it. Let's find the story. There's a story. Oh, all right. There's not a story. It's just a piece of music. This is a piece of music from the 70s from Benny and Björn. And to be honest, I don't know it at all. But it looks like the kind of thing that could be quite interesting. I think it was their attempt at something almost classical. Almost classical. Thank you, František, for that beautiful picture explaining the world of international time. Thank you very much. Very kind. I will now ignore that and get back on with the music. Yes, and this is a bizarre piece of music that literally nobody knows. If you do know it, and you're not Dominic, then let me know. It's called the Intermezzo No. 1 by Benny and Björn. And I really don't know this at all. Of course, it's in my favorite key, which is E bloody major. E major. Why is E major so uncomfortable? I don't know. E major, 4 sharps. But A flat, 4 flats, is the most comfortable keys. I get it. I honestly don't understand it. Again, psychological, I'm guessing. Right, what is this piece of music? Intermezzo No. 1. This is sight reading. And just so you can see what I'm up against, look at the size of the writing on that piece of paper there. Look at the size of it. I'm not sure if this is deliberate. Now, if I turn it this way, then it gives me 2 pages, which is even smaller. And with my 51-year-old eyes, this is kind of difficult. So let's find out. Intermezzo No. 1 in the key of E by Benny and Björn. If anything goes wrong, blame Dominic. I have no idea if that's what it's supposed to sound like, but a rather interesting piece of music nonetheless, and certainly a good exercise in minuscule sight reading. Yeah, all right. I think that's worth listening. I must have a listen to the real thing and see if that's close. Sounds pretty good though. Yeah, I think we'll stick with that. I quite like the I quite like that. Paul Norman, member for 2 months. Good evening, Fraser and gang. Lovely music. Thank you, Paul. Thank you for being a member for a couple of months. Wonderful. Good. Right, Dominic, what do you think? Was that worth it? Spider poop on the iPad, said someone. Cassie, you're not wrong. That was pretty spider poopy. Yeah, interesting. All right, what do we think? Where's my ABBA book gone? Where's my ABBA book gone? Oh, there it is. There you are. See, that's 51-year-old size. That's nice and easy. Now, we started off this evening with the Dancing Queen, and I sort of played around with it. We didn't do it properly, so I think we kind of have to do the Dancing Queen properly. Stand up, everybody. Grab your partners by whatever bodily part you wish to grab them by, and get them dancing round the room.
Sorry about that. My winky blinkies for turning pages was playing havoc. What happens is sometimes the bald spot on the top of my head, if I look down at my hands and then look up again, it recognizes that as an eye and turns pages for me, which is not nice at all. Bum. Now, all of these tunes in this book, I have just realized, are all in the original key. And the original keys are annoying because they're all sharp keys, and I don't like sharp keys. I like flat keys. So I think we will try this one. This is in the key of, are you ready for this? This is in the key of G flat major. So it's written with no less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 flats. That's B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, and C flat. Hold on a minute, C flat sounds like B. Well, on a piano, yes. Or on a keyboard instrument, yes. But on any other instrument, not necessarily. Anyway, but this is a beautiful piece of music written in G flat. So I'm going to play it like a ballad, okay? Using the lovely soft stuff on the organ. Now, many years ago, this has nothing to do with ABBA. Many years ago, our friend and general old musician from the 50s. He's still around, and he's still one of the wealthiest musicians in the world, with a crazy amount of copyright talent to his name. And is he 90 now? I think if he's not 90 already, he's definitely getting on for 90, and he's still fighting fit, and he still appears on YouTube with little private concerts, which is amazing. I'm talking about the wonderful talent known as Neil Sedaka. And Neil Sedaka is still very much with us, and is absolutely gem of a guy, one of the loveliest men around in the music world, certainly. And he took a lot of his old tunes from the 50s, all these wonderful old sort of doo-woppy rock and roll-y things, soft rock and roll from the 50s that he was doing, and he turned it into beautiful ballad kind of stuff, and it worked rather beautifully. Now I think this could work if we take this tune by ABBA and keep it in the original key of G flat major. I think this could work. I think it could work. It's called The Winner Takes It All. And yeah, I think you might recognize this. Adrian Morris, there you are. Neil Sedaka, a fantastic creative musician. Yes, and a bloody nice guy as well. One of the loveliest out there. Really down to earth, absolutely wonderful guy. And fueled on by his wife Liba, who is always behind him, pushing. What does they say? Happy wife, happy life. I changed that. I've got my car channel, the Gartshore's Garage, which I've changed the name of it, by the way. It's now called something else. But I still have my car channel. I'm still creating content for it. And I've come up with a new slogan. So it's happy wife, happy life, tidy garage, happy marriage. I think that works. I think it works. And in my case, it really does work. If I keep the garage tidy, she's happy. So it's perfect. So Neil Sedaka has Liba pushing him along. Everybody needs a good Jewish wife to push them along. Vanessa's not Jewish, but when it comes to money, she could be. Anyway. If this was Fats Waller, he would say glamour music.
Doesn't do much, that, does it? I thought that song was going to do more. I thought I could feel it doing more. How wrong I was. Well, a lot of the ABBA stuff, which is rather good fun, has a sort of Latin feel to it. Am I missing anything in the background? No, I'm not missing anything in the background. Ha! Dominic is leaving us. Ta-ta! See you next time. Carl Heyman is here. Hello, Carl Heyman. I love that name, Carl Heyman. There was someone at the... earlier in the chat who had a wonderful name, and unfortunately I didn't catch it in time. Now then, ABBA, it would turn out, a lot of it is great fun, sort of almost Latin American feel music, cha-cha-cha, lots of cha-cha-chas and things like that. But if you want to learn to play ABBA properly, you need to practice your thirds. Da 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 da. And so on. Chiquita, Chiquitita, in fact, Chiquitita, Chiquitita, Chiquitita-time, Chiquitita-time? I'm not sure, but you know what I mean. I could say something else and that would be naughty, so I won't. Chiquitita, Chiquitita. Tell me, what is it? Chiquitita, tell me the truth. I'm a shoulder you can cry on. It's somewhere in here. Where's the second verse gone? There it is. Your best friend. I'm the one you must rely on. You were always sure of yourself. Now I see you've broken a feather. I hope we can patch it up together. Did you know, now with ABBA, Swedish guys and girls, yeah? A bunch of Swedes. Now Swedes can speak pretty perfect English anyway, because they don't have dubbed television like other parts of the world do, so they can all speak pretty perfect English. But when they came to write this music, do you know how they did it? If you know how they did it, this is amazing. They had a book, a dictionary of English rhymes, words that rhymed. It's absolutely wonderful, and that's how they got these wonderful tunes together. When I phoned you last night from Glasgow. Can you remember what it was they rhymed with Glasgow? That was Dancing Queen. Go and check it out. Check out the words. Anyway, but yes, they had a rhyming dictionary to help them with the words. Isn't that cute? Chiquitita.
Did you know there's a 5/4 bar in the middle of that tune to really confuse you? A wonderfully fun one to put you off in the middle of that. Now, we've had that. We haven't had this. We're coming up to the last 2 numbers of this evening's concert, and some of you have been requesting, and some of you have not. Let's see if you recognize this. Let's go back down to about here.
Ha 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 ha. It's almost boogie woogie, isn't it? It is, isn't it? It's almost sort of a boogie woogie thing. I love it to bits. That's one of my favorites as well. one of my favorites of all time. Now then, we have to finish. Oh, it's on the wrong page as well. Never mind, we kind of have to finish with this one. In the key of D major, this is the piece of music that brought ABBA to international fame back in the days of the Eurovision Song Contest, 1970, God knows what. Long time ago, 74? I can't remember. A long time ago, anyway. And ABBA won this, and deservedly so, and it brought them into international stardom, very deserved as well. It's a wonderful tune, and it's a kind of a rock and roll boogie woogie kind of tune, but the harmonies are just amazing. And this is the thing. Now, your man Benny, I think Björn as well, but your man Benny studied music, and he knew all about harmony. So he knew about things like this. Yeah. So we've got a key there, with that note in the bass. Keep that note in the bass. Suddenly that wants to go somewhere. So here's a note. That's just a chord on its own. But this, it wants to go somewhere. It wants to resolve to there. And then he thought, well, seeing as we're there, we might as well... we might as well go places and turn it into a big sort of operatic number. We're, of course, talking about the wonderful world of Waterloo, my.
It's a wonderful little piece of music. Oh, an extra ticket. Dominic, an extra ticket from Dominic. Dominic, he requests a piece, pays for the request. I play the piece. He sends a thank you ticket as well. Dominic, you're amazing. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Last minute ticket from Dominic. Let's make sure I'm not missing out on anything else. Nope. Splendid, splendid, splendid. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, the end of the evening has arrived, which means we kind of have to play the last piece of music. And it has to be. It absolutely has to be this. It absolutely has to be. We'll keep it in the key of D. I know it's in a different key, but it should work. Yeah, I think it'll work in D. I should recognize it. Where are we going to start? I think we'll start here with this. Well, thank you for being here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, for my ABBA Gold Night. I've had a lot of fun. I hope you've had a lot of fun. It's been a very long week and a very stressful weekend. So thank you for hanging around, and thank you for putting up with me. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. I've had a good time. My tasty beverage this evening was Italian iced tea once again. Yes, we brought lots of it back from Italy with us, huge amounts. It remains then for me to say thank you, which means I also get to play my mum's favourite piece of music, which is Thank You for the Music by ABBA. And yeah, we just have to. It's great. I think Waterloo was actually one of my dad's favourite pieces of music by ABBA. He used to dance around the house to it, so I'm sure it was one of his favourites. So, Thank You for the Music, my mum's favourite. Waterloo, my dad's favourite. There you are. Wonderful stuff. I'm nothing special. In fact, I'm a bit of a bore. If I tell a joke, you've probably heard it before. Again, the rhyming dictionary did its was worth its weight in ABBA gold for this one. Thank you for the music. Thank you for your generosity, for your audience participation. Yeah, playing with sharps again. Yes, I know, bloody sharps, hate them. To all of those of you I did not say hello to in the gang, good evening and thank you for being there. Lovely to see you. We'll see you next week for more of the same, I hope. For those of you who were here last night we had our tuba concert for our Illuminati members, and we analysed a certain piece of French organ music, and I bashed my way through it. We sort of learnt it again together. So I'm hoping I'm going to get some time this week to make a recording of it. So keep your eyes out for that. In the meantime, see you next time.